All right, everybody, let's roll. Welcome to AZ Wordsmith's Stories That Matter. For those of you who don't know, this is Badass and Brilliant. This is our 2-year anniversary. Why are stories important? And I'm going to roll through this because this is a lot for me to memorize and I didn't do it well. Stories foster compassion and understanding. They help people appreciate the complexities of the human condition, I think. And they recognize the shared humanity that we all have. Stories convey our sense of right and wrong and our organizational culture, the expectations we set for ourselves and others that we know. Stories shape our worldviews, our concerns, our fascinations, and our lives in general. Reynolds Price once said, our need to tell and hear stories is essential. Stories are second in necessity after nourishment, before love and shelter. We can survive without love or home, but rarely in silence. Our next storyteller, Hans Horning.
All right.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I had let's call it an incident. At the time, I just blew it off. You know? Just said, yeah, this is due to old age. I'm old. I understand that. But I want to say this on behalf of my fellow older folks. When you're old and you know that you're old, okay, that means that you have gone through the denial stage. Yeah. That's when the mind keeps saying to you, you still got this. And your knees keep saying, you ain't got shit. You know? And of course, the knees win the argument. Oh, yeah. But look, that doesn't mean you shut things down and turn off the lights. Like this incident I had. The more I started to think about this incident, I thought, you know, this was absolutely predictable. Matter of fact, it was so predictable that I'll bet it happens thousands of times every day in the United States. And if I'm right about that, then I ought to tell this story about this incident because it may save some of the guys, some of the brotherhood in here, may spare them a little pain and agony. All right. The central problem here, the core problem, is peeing in the dark. Think about it. Think about it. Peeing in the dark is a problem. Nobody ever talks about it. It happens. So guys, here's what you need to know. All long, limber, dangly things have memory. memory. That's what it's called in the trades. I'm not making this up. Think a long coil of rope, a long, long electrical extension cord, your garden hose. When you try and straighten that thing out so you can use it, it doesn't want to go straight. It resists. It wants to return to its default condition, which is all coiled up. Now, guys, your long, limber, dangly thing is no different. And when you get up in the middle of the night to go, if you expect that thing to shoot straight, you are seriously delusional. Delusional. Now, I want to spend a little time with the ladies here, okay? This is important. Ladies, when your man has a incident, he loses his confidence. He realizes he can't trust his equipment. His psyche is fragile. And most of all, he realizes that in fact he does not rule the world. So ladies, the next morning when you get up and go in the bathroom, comments like, "Oh, this gives carpet bombing a whole new meaning." Comments like that do not help, okay? Ridicule is not constructive. All right, now guys, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. And because this is a conversation amongst guys here, I'm going to use guy talk. I'm going to talk to it in terms of golf. Golfing. You got to determine whether yours has a draw or a fade. You know, when you tee off, does your ball tend to go on the left on the fairway or the right on the fairway? When you putt, does your ball draw to the left or fade to the right? That way, when you get up in the middle of the night and you have to go, you can adjust. You can compensate. All right? All right. All right, now, why is this important? Why is this important? And no, it's not just important because every time you get up in the middle of the night, your wife rolls over in bed and says, "Don't piss on the floor." No. The important thing is when you're standing there, barefoot, all alone, in the dark, at 3:30 in the morning, standing before a porcelain throne. There is nothing so off-putting, nothing so dispiriting, and nothing so infuriating as pissing on your own foot.
Well, you see, okay, there's an example of what happens when you don't have a theme. And just kind of give everybody carte blanche to do what they want. Anyways, Hans has been on the platform here a couple of times for us, and he's a Navy veteran, retired, obviously. And he's told a couple of good yarns about his life. As a matter of fact, our first show in March of next year came from one of his stories, and the theme of that is, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So you can only imagine. Also, he spent a good part of his life in a boat. What kind of boat? Sailboat? A power boat, going up and down the eastern seaboard, just spending years going in and out and in and out and in and out, and told a wonderful story about an episode there, but you can see that on YouTube. I'm not going to repeat any of it here. So, let's see. Unusual questions. His biography would be titled, "Somebody Had to Go. We Went." So, I don't know whether that's related at all. That might be, might not be. I don't know. What do you think would be a fitting epitaph on your gravestone? Pretty good at everything, but not great at anything. Well, good storyteller. Never done about great storyteller. If you could eliminate one state, what would it be and why? Well, that's a good state of confusion, but that's not it. No, that was JP's answer to that question. As a matter of fact, he said Florida, and it's hot, humid, mostly barren, and flat. I guess that means it has no reason to exist. A couple of quotes. What we think or what we know or what we believe is in the end of little consequence. The only thing of consequence is what we do. Okay, that was from John Ruskin. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Have a safe and happy holiday season, and be careful.